What's up, everybody? This is Ref and Tom,
Hello.
and today we're going to be reviewing the second episode of Gamera Rebirth with screenshots so you can see things as we talk about them. So hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get right to it.
We start off here in the lab where they have the Jiger eggs in some sort of device to suspend them so that they can study them. I think it's something to inhibit them from hatching, which, well, we find out how that goes.
Yeah, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. And there you can see Mulder and Scully, the same people who took the kids to the military facility. And there we see the episode's title, episode 2, Under Current. And this is a nice still. This is a nice screenshot that Tom took. It's from the kids' bedroom. And if you look to the bottom part of the screen, you can see that there is an armored core in it. Actually, that was this guy, and it was a white slash light gray mech. I forgot its name. Had a big ass rifle. Really cool anime. Let us know if you remember. Right here, we begin seeing communication between the children. Take it away, Tom.
Yeah, they were given devices that resemble modern cell phones. But of course, this is 89, so it's got to be some sort of military-only technology. But they gave them to the children.
Exactly.
Which we figure out why they gave them to the children a little bit later in the episode. But they're all communicating, and they're all in awe at the technology that they've been given.
Exactly, because think about this: 1989. All of a sudden, you could talk to your friends using something like this. Pretty amazing. Do you guys remember the first cell phones? They look like this. I know because I had one. So moving on, there we see Junichi, and he has that which is obviously an Atari in front of him, and him being the tech kid, the geeky kid, I think he's more impressed at the technology than focusing on the conversation that they're actually having. And it kind of does make sense that Brody is going to do this because he grew up with a military father, so he did pick up on a couple of things. And there's going to be an evolution of this later on. There's going to be some very good Brody character development, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. Then they're remembering the night before. You can see that Brody is still in a catatonic state. He still has piss in his pants. I don't know if he washed them overnight or if he just let it dry out. And then we cut back to the present day, where the general, Brody's father, is showing him up.
Yeah, he's always trying to live up to his father's expectations, which are really high because, again, he's military.
Yeah.
And he's pretty hard on his son, and his son just wants to live up to his expectations and make his father proud.
Exactly. So in the end, Brody is what we call a fake bully. As the series develops, you're going to see that he's not exactly what we saw in the first episode. That was just him trying to live up to his father, what he thought would be an ideal form of behavior. But as you're going to see him coming out of his shell, and he's not that. Doesn't mean he won't remember the stuff he learned, the skills he picked up. He's going to become a very good character. And the kids are all there. They kind of laugh at him. He makes excuses, and then Joe goes, "Oh, you wish we saw what really happened." Then Mulder and Scully, they show up again, this time to interview the kids about what they saw, which is what they wanted to do at the ending of the very first episode. They go, we just want to ask you a couple of questions. Take it away, Tom.
Yeah, they were asking them about their encounter with the Kaiju and Gauss. They knew about Gauss already, but Gamera is new to them. He just kind of appeared, and they don't know why or how. And they told the kids that the kaiju may have been fighting over who gets to eat them. So, I mean, from their perspective, all the kaiju are bad at this point.
Which is understandable. You're this government entity, and you had no boots on the ground to know what really happened. So you see two kaiju fighting, and they're going to go, okay, they want to kill us all.
Right.
And then we cut to this facility part. Remember the Jiger eggs at the beginning? And as you can see from the logo, oops, a little spoiler there. As you can see from the logo on their shirts, is the same logo as this.
Yeah, so it's their lab.
And we can see that, the Jiger hatchlings, they get the jump on the lab workers, and this scene is disturbing. And you can see that the tube actually cracked and the eggs hatched, and the Jiger are developing at a very alarming rate. So this was a very interesting part of the show, because here we see power versus power. It's basically CIA versus military. And they talk.
And they're playing the blame game.
Yeah, and they talking exactly like it. Blame game. It's all they're doing. Oh, you should have done this. Well, you weren't there. Well, I lost a lot of men. Well, we better step the fuck up and all those things. And then, I think this is where Brody's character really begins developing. Because he hears his father talking about that which is classified information. He's talking about the Jiger eggs and how the hatchlings, they are the size of puppies, the size of fists, basically. So he thinks, well, maybe I can do something to impress my father. That's the secret mission. And you can see, he gathers everybody around. He puts on some football padding because he thinks he's going to do something. And there's a fight among them, basically Brody and Joe. Brody and Joe are natural-born leaders, both of them. So they're going to have scruffs every now and then. And throughout the scene, they begin going down into this dark cave. And there's talk, the bickering between the both of them, with Brody always naturally trying to take the charge. And Joe saying, who made you boss? Who made you this? Who made you that? And both make very excellent points about quite a number of things, life-related, including. And eventually, no, I'm not going to talk about this now. I think we're going to show this later. Moving on, but pay attention to the scene. I think this part was central to this episode. And then we see more military stuff. They are getting ready for the Jiger incident. They also have that intel. Of course, Brody's father relays the intel to the army, so they're going towards the same spot that Brody and the gang are headed to. And next, take it away, Tom.
We have some military ships here, and they're hunting for Gamera, who they still think is an enemy. After they spot him in the sky, they start firing missiles, and he evades them like a skilled fighter pilot. He evades the missiles, and they end up sending out a whole bunch of missiles.
Yes.
And he goes way up high, and it looks like he emits an energy burst and blows them up, but they think that they got him. So he's off screen, and they think that they've taken care of it.
Yeah, exactly. He suddenly disappears. But they weren't counting, and I wouldn't either, on the fact that Gamera is just really fucking fast. So, he disappears, and they go, we got him? No, he just, boom, he's gone. And here we see, after a bickering between Joe and Brody, which, Brody's always trying to take charge, and Joe goes, oh, you're just trying to live up to your daddy's expectations. And that strikes a proverbial nerve on Brody, because it's the truth. And, they're about to go at it, and then eventually this comes up. They finally find Jiger. The one that laid out all of the eggs. And
No.
no,
No. This is a hatchling that grew.
this is also a hatchling. I thought this was the guy that did the other eggs.
No, they found the eggs. They talked about it in the first episode. They found the eggs in a cave, and they've had them for years in that machine. So they're surprised that they hatched. But no, this is the growth rate.
Oh, goddamn!
This is a hatchling.
Shit.
So it's big here, and it's even bigger further on in the episode. It just keeps growing.
And as you can see, the kids, they go, "Oh my God, what do we do?" And I'm so thankful that Tom actually captured this. Because the way they try moving away from it is the way I would try moving away from it.
Sneaking away.
They try moving really, really slow, like in that Jurassic Park thing. Hey, if we don't move, the dinosaur, the T-Rex, isn't going to see us. But eventually, they get a call on the radio. Someone says something, and the military picks the frequency up. And, just as they're about to get attacked by the hatchling, the military swoops in, saves the day. And,
tries to.
Actually saves the kids, saves the minute. Not the day, the minute for the kids. And there we see the real damage. This is the build-up of the episode. And if you look just to the right of that access point, you can see the kids. You can see you can tell Brody's outfit, and then, they're all there, and they're all started too. That's a full-grown Jiger. A face only a mother could love.
And sometimes I think she's not telling the truth.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, son, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Oh my God. She just moves along. And then, of course, the military starts firing at the Jiger. And there's something I need to address before we keep on going. Because here's the thing. The military's attacks actually do something. It's not completely useless. It's not completely pointless. They at least serve as ways to stagger the Kaiju in a significant manner, even just momentarily. So good stuff. Good stuff. I was expecting this to be, okay, when's Gamera going to show up? But no, it actually does a little bit. I like it.
They're trying. They're succeeding very little, but they're trying.
And then we see everybody in the Hummer, and then the Hummer flips over. You can see that the door is topside. And they start getting everybody out, and Joe, being the oldest of the trio of kids, is the heaviest. And the other two just can't pull him out because they're weak. So Brody, I think he tells either Junichi or Boko, oh, step aside, I got this. And he pulls Joe. And that is kind of when their friendship begins forming. They begin connecting with one another. So you can see here, them helping him out. Really cool stuff. And then Gamera sweeps back in.
One hell of an entrance.
I'm going to tell you guys right now why I think this was the greatest Gamera entrance I've ever seen. Animated or otherwise. Because usually, Kaiju movies have that dramatic effect. Kaiju appears, he stops, roars, and then battle ensues. In here, what happens is Gamera comes sweeping down at an extremely high speed. He lands, and 2 seconds later, he's already at the Jiger's throat. He lands and goes in for the kill, and that scene is absolutely amazing. It's how I picture Gamera doing things, because he's fast. He wasn't just going to stand around, oh, I'm in, oh, you're out. So, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Then, regular populace running away scared. Gamera being pissed off because, he had to work again. And, this shot's awesome.
I did love this fight, but I do think Gamera should have thrown him just a little bit sooner.
Yeah, Gamera has a brain fart here because he had complete grip over Jiger. So, throw him away instantly, but he waits for a little bit. Or was he waiting for the people to get away? Maybe that's it.
That could be, yes, because...
Yeah, because it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. He just grabs it and stays like there. He's probably waiting for people to scatter. Because, he takes one stab. He takes like 3 stabs before collapsing. So I really think he was trying to save the people. Just get the fuck away so I can end this.
Right.
It doesn't work. He falls to the ground, and then Jiger begins doing what evil kaiju do. He terrorizes people. And this scene in particular... What?
And he eats them, too. He ate some people.
Yes, and this scene in particular was really cool because the military got the order to back down. But they, this scene actually lasts quite a couple of seconds. They're backing off, firing at him. And I see this as a good piece of resistance. It was a good movie. Like I said, the military isn't portrayed as dumb and useless in this movie, in this series. Even though what they do amounts to very little, they are shown in a more capable manner. I think you have to watch this to understand what I mean. They're shown in a more serious manner. It's not just, hey, military, stop, done. No, they're actually doing something. Their efforts into stopping the Jiger actually, managed to save at least those 2 people.
Well, yeah, that was their goal. They could have just tore out of there because they weren't winning. They were not winning. They were taking damage.
Yes.
But they stayed to help the civilians, which, that's what they're there for, like you said. But.
And then comes the second baddest, Tom knows what I'm talking about. The second baddest sequence in this episode. Gamera, he just grabs Jiger by the fucking ass and slams him on the other side. And that fucking scene happens so quickly with so much force. And you can see the results like, hey, yeah, you're going to deal with me now. And oh, yes. And then this happens. I don't know if you guys ever played King of Fighters. Yuri Yagami, his overdrive, where he knocks the opponent down and begins disemboweling him with his hands. That's Gamera right there.
Yeah.
When I fucking saw this, I was like, holy shit! And this also serves to set Gamera apart from Godzilla, because Godzilla is full power, full strength. But Gamera is speed and aggression. So, at the same time that this surprised me, it also made sense that he did this. He probably wasn't going to crush the kaiju with one hand. But by doing this, extremely rapid attacks, I like this. I really like the scene.
Oh, damage was done.
Yeah, it was very graphic too. But then the government comes and does what it does best, which is fucking things up. And as you can see, there's a formation of F-15s, I believe. And they shoot Gamera mid-rampage. And I think this is where we really understand Brody. Because Joe walks up to him and says, hey man, your dad's the general, right? So tell him to stop attacking Gamera. You have to do something. And then Brody, you can see in his demeanor, he's defeated at the thought of doing that. He goes, well, I can't really talk to him. I know I've tried. It doesn't matter. It doesn't work. Then Joe says, step the fuck up. And then Brody does it. He begins weeping. He has some severe blocks against doing it. But he eventually snaps and says, just listen to me for once. And we see that the military starts attacking the Jiger, meaning that the general, Brody's father, actually listened to him. And this is very good because, as we can see, Gamera was down on the ground eating dirt again for the 3rd time. But now, the first time was excused because I think that completely makes sense. That Gamera was waiting for so long at first because he was waiting for people to evacuate. I really think that's a strong possibility. So that's why he didn't begin fighting and ended up on the ground because, hey, I'm holding out for as much as I can. And then Gamera wakes up to the coolest moment in fucking Kaiju history. And you can fight me on this all you want. I'm gonna be impervious to everything you say. He fucking shoves his fist down the Jiger's mouth, raises him, and then immolates the son of a bitch as if he was Kyo from the King of Fighters. I have no word for this. When it happened, I was like, what?
Yeah, this was an awesome scene.
And again, this shows how respectfully Gamera is being treated, because, you know, he was on the ground, he had taken some really strong hits, but the moment Jiger got destabilized and he was able to get back up, Gamera went in for the kill. No stupid bites just to extend the fight for another 5 minutes. No, we're ending this now. And he does so. And to add insult to injury, you know, I've already burned this motherfucker from, you know, inside out. So what can I do? This about sums the whole show. The sequence sums the whole show up to me. You know, the kids, they are in awe. And we can see body posture. Again, you can see Brody with his fists like this. So yeah, this is working. This is cool. Boko's like that too, as is Junichi. And Joe, you know, he's the wary type of guy and not good to express himself. And Mulder and Scully, they're there, and they're there. So Gamera eventually just throws the Jiger away. Like, I don't know, maybe 500 feet away, you know, 1,000 feet away. And decides, actually, I'm not done with you.
Now that you're dead from the inside out, fuck you anyway.
Yeah, no, let me make sure that I killed you from something you could never have survived in any chance whatsoever. And boom, it's done. You know, it's scorching pile of garbage. And then Gamera takes flight again and leaves. So we cut to this aftermath where the kids are at the harbor. They're about to leave. You can see that Brody's much lighter. The kids are starting to warm up to him. Brody's starting to warm up to Brody. You know, he's not acting tough anymore. He's being Brody. And unfortunately, we don't have a screenshot of this. But Joe, you know, because they're going to board the ship, Joe says, oh, it always, you know, makes me sick to board those ships. And then Brody goes, oh, there's a way for you not to get sick. And Joe goes, well, what? And Brody leans forward, makes a motion to put his fingers on his throat, and says, well, you can just put everything out before you board. And they all start laughing. And after that, I think this is where Joe really comes out of his shell. You know, you can see him breaking open, and he smiles, and you know, they smile towards one another, and a friendship has been established. So it was really cool stuff. There you can see the oh my god, sorry. There you can see the ship. They are about to board, and the episode is almost at an end. And just before everything closes, we see this. At first, yesterday, you know, I was kind of sleepy, so I thought, oh, hey, is this Gamera? But no, his eyes are red. It's got to be something different. And just earlier today, as we were getting set up for this, Tom actually scolded me on this. Take it away.
Yeah, that's Zigra. He's completely different than Gamera. His design is a little similar in this, and I guess we're going to have to wait till next episode to see exactly what he's about in this series. Yes. But he is a water-only kaiju that was in one of the very, well, not very early, but an earlier Gamera movie. And this is the first time we're seeing him since then.
So you're saying water only, as in he never surfaces?
I mean, he comes out of the water, but he's more at home in the water. That's where he lives.
Is he capable of fighting? Yeah, that's a better question. Can he, you know, stay out of water for sustained periods of time?
Yeah, long enough to fight, yeah, but is more at home and more skilled in the water.
Yeah,
So, but
it's probably going to be an underwater battle.
so again, we're gonna have to wait and see in the next episode how they deal with him in the show. But
Yeah, and Gamera is going to be in hot waters because I'm sorry, I had to say it because as fast as he is, he's not exactly an underwater kaiju, even though he's a turtle. So I expect some severe blows before Gamera is actually able to do something, and I think this could be a nice nod to something we saw in the movies as they described Gamera. Gamera will oftentimes retreat and then attack again. People thought, oh
he
no,
watches and he learns.
exactly. People thought, oh, he's being a coward. No, he's assessing the situation. He's learning. So I think we're gonna see this here too. I think Gamera's going to get his ass kicked underwater, then he's going to back out, or even, come up with something on the fly. It's not going to be a muscle versus muscle battle. It's going to be a wit versus speed battle. And we all know that Gamera is very smart. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, we're gonna. Are we doing these once a week, or are we gonna do another one again soon?
No, you mean the episodes?
Yeah.
Daily. Daily.
Okay.
We're going to do this daily, man. I had to literally force myself yesterday to not say, hey, can we watch everything at once? I'm dying to watch the rest of it. And, okay, Tom. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, and that is a sign that it's a very good show because it has both of us wanting more, and that is success to the whole team.
Exactly.
The creators of the show, yeah.
It was just like with Castlevania. Once I started watching, I spent like 15 hours straight watching it. I eventually just stopped because I couldn't make head or tails of what I was listening anymore. Okay, who said this? Who said that? Who are those people? So I had to stop. And, okay, T, it's the moment of truth. It's time to rate the episode. You already know my score. What's yours?
I have to give it a 9. I'm not seeing everything I want to see, but as far as it's awesome, it's almost perfect. It's great. Just like in the first episode, I actually care about the humans in this, and I'm more of a kaiju guy. I want to see the battles. In very many kaiju movies, there's some I care about the characters, but in very many, it's just like the human characters are disposable.
Yeah, they're just there.
Yeah. The character development in this is really good. I actually care about the characters. I want to see what happens next with them. The kaiju battles are great. Could there be more of them? Yes, of course. But there's a good balance here because I do actually care about the human characters. So,
yeah, and I think that's a merit in and out of itself. Because, like you said, on most kaiju things, the humans are just there so we can connect to something while watching. But 99.99% of the time, we don't really give a shit about the people because they're just too poorly written. But in here, I actually want to see more of the kids. I want to see more of Brody. I want to see more of Joe. I want to see more of Junichi, who hasn't done much so far. But I'm pretty sure he's going to get his time to shine. I'm pretty sure something. There's an episode in which things are going to come down to him. Him doing something. It's the classic storytelling. The geeky kid is going to get his moment to shine. He's going to do something really, really important. That's going to either make or break the whole operation, whatever it is, on that episode. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of Mulder and Scully. The general, I think, is more of a pivot for us to understand more about Brody. And, in the end, this episode to me is a 10 out of 10. I'm not the kaiju expert like Tom is. But as far as, everything I've seen, the human interactions were awesome. Not once I thought, hey, can we get to the good stuff? Like I usually do. And I enjoyed seeing everything, seeing their talks, their communications. The fight, like I said, I think the fight lasted just as long as it needed to last. I made this comment as we were watching it. They didn't they didn't pad the fight or shorten it. And it was very believable in the way we're seeing Gamera up to this point. So on Tom's side, it's a 9. On mine, it's a 10. But we're missing a side, Tom.
What side is that?
Our viewers.
Oh, yes.
Let
us know.
They're the reason why we do this. So on your side, how do you rate this episode? And also, if you feel like it, if you're passionate, yes, leave a comment. And if you're passionate about kaiju, then write us your own review of this episode. Because we're going to read them. We're going to read them. Maybe tell us your theory about that sequence where Gamera is holding the kaiju up for so long without doing anything. Maybe you saw something that we didn't. And that's the beauty of sharing and talking, because things we like can get even more rich. We can learn a lot more details about stuff we like. So, any closing thoughts, Tom?
Can't wait for the next episode,
which is gonna premiere tomorrow for you. So, subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment about the show, and we'll see you with the next episode of Gamera Rebirth tomorrow.
See you then.
Later.